Hi, Psychic Frank's Mystery School. Okay, we're in session now. Hi. Okay, it's a rainy day in San Francisco, and we're approaching the Happy New Year, the Astrological New Year. Gabby, come here, honey. I'm sorry. Are you okay, darling? Come here, kiss. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, let's do a show. So, yeah, welcome to Psychic Frank's Mystery School. What's going to happen is April Bayvac SF Commons is open by appointment to let the producers go in and do their live shows with this flash studio where I could take calls from the audience. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. So, what we're going to do is I went with I've never had a late morning slot, so I picked. There was four different times, 52-minute slots open for me. I went from 11:30 to 12:30 because for years I've had the 5 o'clock Thursday, the first and the third Thursday at 5 o'clock, and that people would meet me on the street or on the bus or wherever, and they'd say, "Gee, I love your show, Frank, but that's when I'm coming home from work." Or this, and this, and I can't call you. So I figured, excuse me, if I go from 11:30 to 12:30, perhaps people can call me on their lunch break. Okay, so I don't know the date yet, but I know. So if you go to SF Commons schedule or Juvan, Javan, Javan, Javon, he runs the. He and Melanie, they really have made it possible for you people who are watching me now to watch me. So, yeah, they're doing pulling an amazing load. Bless them and everybody for making, as we're coming out of this, the hypothesis of happiness. I picked this up today by Jonathan Haibt, and he says, when tragedy strikes, however, it knocks you off the treadmill and forces a decision. Hop back on and return to business as usual or try something else. Yeah, yeah, let's try something else. Sanity. Hey, let's give sanity. Speaking of that, okay, so JFK, was taking Demerol. He had a Demerol monkey on his back. Right, Gabby? Yeah, Dr. Feelgood, Aretha Franklin made a song about him. Lots have been written about it. That's not like something I pulled out of the air, So when JFK was telling America, "Let's go to the moon," it's not the hardest thing we'll ever do. The hardest thing we'll ever do is clearly, taking care of Mother Earth. So what he said was the Demerol talking. That was the Demerol talking. NASA's been running amok, blowing money, and then this Musk guy. It's vulgar how he's destroying. I know it's his and it's free will, but oh my God, the money that we could be spent feeding every mouth, healing, educating. So anyway, you want to write down, if you've been watching my shows, you want to write down, always have a pen and paper handy with you, because the ideas come, and you want to jot them down. In all humility, I'm even amazed what comes out of me. So, why Mars? Question mark. Why not other planets? Question mark. By this guy named Jesse, Jessessehan. Um, I somehow still, my guy, I believe there's like Dr. Larry Dossey talks about computer angels. Yeah, I believe some days I'll not be looking for anything or just surfing around, and boom, these things come to me. Well, when I went to find him the second time, I found around a 6 or maybe a dozen other YouTube channels by young young white men for some reason, but ignorant, and the first thing a lot of them start their little videos with, I get to get that sensationalism going, is America's dead already, man. Face it, let's colonizing other planets and I was like appalled, beyond appalled that. And then there was a few of them, but getting back to Jesse Hand. Now this is an educated guy. He's a Brit, young man. And if you're afraid of the F word, which I'm not, I use it a lot. It keeps Christians away from me. Not, it's a long story, but sometimes when I was working in the trenches, and the F word would slip out, people would say, "I'm a Christian, Frank." And that would only make me say it more. Gabby, darling. Oh, look who's here. It's the baby. So Jesse Hand has this T-shirt and it says what F blank blank K, but he gives you all the facts, all the planets from Mercury to Pluto. Pluto, by the way, is I guess the size of Texas. They say it's incredibly small. And it's like, just validated everything. It's like the collection. I got the window open to get some fresh air in here. It's a stormy San Francisco afternoon. The kind I love. Reminds me of the old days. I was at the market the other day and this Trader Joe's, and I'm buying this Japanese butter. It's a synthetic butter. Protein-based, plant-based butter, and I said to the young man who was checking me out, it was my only item because I can get it cheaper at Trader Joe's. And I said, "This is butter is like the worst taste for me now." And he was startled, and then he said, "I said, well, I've been vegan now for going on 20 years." I said, "So." I said, "The butter used to be a nice taste, and now just is the worst taste." And then I said, "And this stuff is really delicious, and I don't even miss it. It's hard to believe it's not. It's hard to believe I feel like a commercial." Anyway, I said, "Well, I've been at it longer than you," because I could see he was younger to be my great grandchild. And I said, "Well, I've been working on it a long time. I'm 72." And he said, "Wow, you're looking fit." And I said, "Wow, that was such a compliment to me." So thank you, life, for pulling me through all the rough times. Well, the people that survive. I've had my rough challenges. Trust me, I've been on the edge so many times, and still am probably. But I think we all are. That's another story. And as I said, you really want to. Life, without the feeling of love and without the faith and conviction that life in us is unobstructed. Breathe that in. Life in us is unobstructed. Me and you, everybody, all kinds of children, life in us is unobstructed. Without that faith and conviction, when hell freezes over, I'll skate. This is happening for me, not to me. All the healing techniques of science are as little avail. And then my favorite prayer is the one I saw on the mosaic over on Laguna Street. Close your eyes, summon your strength, believe. Namaste. Okay, so getting back to why Mars, not other planets. Okay, Neptune, for instance, the wind velocity of Neptune is faster than the speed of light. Many planets, your eyes would melt in 2 seconds. The reason we didn't go to Mercury, which is closer, because you can't pin Mercury down. They don't have the smarts for that. We need to get these brainiacs to just no more. Cut them off cold. And start using every cent. Get these brainiacs to what do we do now to speak? Everything we could do now to save Mother Earth. It's not dead, but we're killing her. She's practically going flatline. And no, I don't think it's that bad. This Earth, as I said, with all the nuclear, I believe, it seems like how are we ever going to get all the nuclear weapons out? That's going to be more dangerous. It was easy, I guess, relatively easy to look making them, safely disposing of them, making them deactive. that's going to be a whole. That's where, as JFK would say, that's the hard stuff. And I believe my guides tell me interplanetary help is waiting for us to make the right decision, and I, being an optimist, think we will, because Mother Nature doesn't want to be dominated. She wants to be accommodated. We've been screwing it up, and he goes on and on and on with the true facts about, Mars. Life on Mars would be no Earth. Let me tell you, it's like, wake up now. Okay, let it go, Frank. Let it go. Shake it off. Shake it off. Well, how can I be more personally involved? This is the school where I put it all together. I wanted when I go on the other side and they say, well, Frank, what did you do? I say, man, I'm dancing as fast as I can. I went out there and pleaded everybody, wake up, wake up. The earth. I've been doing this since the 60s. Most of my friends are come in spirit to visit me, I was going to start the show with something interesting. Welcome to the Karma Cafe. There are no menus. You get what you deserve. I love that one. Then let me see what else we got here. You are the result of 4 billion years of evolutionary success. Act like it. That's my favorite. Gabby loves that one. Oh, she's up here. Oh, I brought the cards. Don't worry. There's plenty of time. Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I'd like to see you in better living conditions. I've seen so many mansions where there's no love. A house, a house is not a home. A home is where the love is. Okay. Some people talk to animals, but not many listen. That's a Chinese proverb. Emerson, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. See, that's what's happening. That little child, who was really sickly, that they broke his spirit. I'm talking about myself. The first 3 years of your life, you're making a break in that kid. Well, that was to prepare me for this wounded healer I've become. That's why, I have been able to do my hands-on thing with people in this park across the street from me. Okay. A prayer, we ask a question. In meditation, we receive an answer. I like the thing where I say, if you say you have no time for prayer and meditation, you'll have a lot of time for sickness and despair. Okay, so one more time. Jesse Ham, H-A-N. Why Mars? Why not other planets? He's a British kid. And everything he says is all just... And then after you take that in, you'll understand. You shouldn't be, don't take a defeatist. Say, oh, okay, well, it's not too late. We can all get together and put our foot down. Oh yeah, this is why I can't get away from this subject. Okay, the 2 years I did on Facebook was like, wow, they didn't know how to treat a psychic. I didn't know how to treat myself. And the Glen Cove High School class of '67 honors this one guy. He's a living legend. He's the one of the few in the school. Oh, there's a lot of them that did well. Well, they were born well, so naturally they inherited well, so naturally they did well, and they're all white. Trust fund kids, and this one guy has been with NASA for the last 40 years since high school, and he's a living legend in Glen Cove, Long Island. And on Facebook, I was, almost ready to vomit from all the gushing he gets, just because I'm so no, he, So I said something to him about you've been on the NASA gravy train for decades, and I forget. Anyway, you would have thought I called his mother a whore, and everybody started bashing on me, Yeah, they weren't ready for my frankness. And that was before my Kundalini took a turn. This happens from what I understand, everybody's different. But in my case, the woman who taught me was right. She had said in a class I took, "Hey, Daddy, honey. Our chakras, they're lined up, and at a certain moment in time, like in my case, it was 70 years, so many months, so many hours, so many minutes, seconds, and then boom, it was like a safe, and then all the shockers, and that's what happened when I was on the bus coming home with 20 pounds of parrot food that hot summer day, August 28th. It'll be 2 years ago. And then when I managed to get off the bus without, I thought I might pass out. I laid on the cold concrete under a shady tree, and we were having a really hot couple of days then, one of those really weird hot days in San Francisco. And then I still didn't put together because I was just had put that Kundalini, like Sri Aurobindo, all these people that achieved amazing things, were like in metaphysical worlds or living legends, and I'm nobody. I still am nobody. And like, now that I found love, what am I going to do with it? No, I'm excited, to have had this year to adjust, to open up my soul to you and share the love of my life. Oh, God, I'm here. Oh, kissy. My lovely Wahini. Got a little bird on my shoulder. Yeah, so JFK had a Demerol monkey on his back. Lenny Bruce's Lenny Bruce album where he goes to his agent, goes, "Man, I need some bread." He goes, "No, I'll make you a sandwich." He goes, "Nah, I don't need. I need money, man. I got a monkey on my back." He says, "Oh, good. I'll make you. I could use an animal act." So enough of that. Okay, what else do I have down here? Yeah, JFK was telling us. That was the Demerol talking. Yeah, we covered that. When you see that Jesse Han, why Mars, why not other planets? So remember, there's other ones. Just shiver your timbers when they pronounce my beloved Earth as already dead. I was like, how? And it wasn't just one. That was what appalled me. There was like, I after I forget, I went to a state of, it was like almost a psychic wound. I had no idea it was that bad. So many people have just scratched Earth off, shake it off, right? No, it's not too late, man. When you see that video by this young man, you'll understand. Okay, NASA, use this brain of yours to let's start studying inner space. That's what Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Krishna, I don't know, but any there's a lot of us who have mastered inner space, and I think we all know, as I said, the Dalai Lama. All of a sudden, well, he's not going to cut off the hand that feeds him, so he can't say anything. But the old Dalai Lama, who was going around reciting when he was a young man, and for thousands of years before him, every Dalai Lama would always talk about the temptation should be resisted to travel outside of Earth, and if we do, don't even think about taking back any rocks or anything. Well, according to those old teachings, we're already doomed. But I don't believe, even if we are, it's like, it's do everything you can right up until the end, I just watched the movie Ghost again here on Antenna TV, and that's just, these bad guys, like at the end, these shadows come and grab these people screaming, taking them to hell, with Patrick Swayze's character, is light and, has a wonderful transcendent to eternal life, and obviously his next incarnation, and I thought that's Richard Nixon, man. When he died, he went gross, man. He made and a lot of people are headed in that way. Don't let this happen to you. Use this life. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. The reason I'm not concentrate too much on astrology is because I get all the news I need from the weather report. The local weather report gives me all the news I need, and then Pam Gregory, astrologer. She gives me the important 411, and so anything I say is like. It's like, do what you know, and this is what I know. I'm a psychic healer who uses astrology, numerology to enhance, because I believe you heal the mind. That's going to be coming back, you know. That's going to be coming back. We got plenty of time here because I put this together. Sir, Muhammad Ali said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." That's a good one, huh, Gabby? Aristotle. Can't go wrong with Aristotle. Anyone can be angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time for the right reason and in the right way, this is not easy. I mean, people my age who came up in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s, I mean, every home I knew, or if they weren't Catholic, Italian Catholics, they were, some form of Catholic. And there was like the long hair hippie version of Jesus, with the flower and the dove, the hippie Jesus, which I loved. They prayed to this hippie Jesus, and yet when they left church, they kicked the long hairs, and parents were making their lives miserable because they couldn't handle their kids with long hair. But yet, this divide, they'd go in and get on their knees and give money to this picture of the hippie Jesus. Well, right next to the hippie Jesus was JFK, so JFK was elevated to Jesus. They're together right now, and these people, well, most of them are dead. But NASA, so I know there's all kinds of theories about the Nazis, and I don't know, and I'm not going to waste my energy allowance, going where I just know that the truth will make you miserable, to set you free, rather. Will make you miserable, but what do they say? The truth will set you free, but first it will make you miserable. So I know that thought, the whole thought of, the space, it's like ridiculous. It's not just a wisecrack, a condescending wisecrack. We are totally, totally out, as far out of space as we will ever be. On the other side, money, isn't so key as it is here. As a matter of fact, the liberal arts are all that matters. A lot of people are going over on the other side, really regretting that they were brainwashed, and it all happened the last 200 years. Before the Industrial Revolution and all that. You know, there was this faith in life after birth, eternal. Now it's no. We'll get more into that. We'll get more into that. Mysticism is the art of union with reality. The mystic is a person who has attained that union in greater or lesser degree. Well, I left my body and came back transformed. Yeah, I would say a greater. In all humility, man, I still giggle when I think about what happened to me. What was that? 82. And totally by surprise, That's why I'm saying all the spiritual things came by surprise, because I never even thought for a second. I don't know. Somehow you had to be important, and I kept on looking in the mirror and saying, "Frank, you are nobody," you know. And now I know that's cool. When you're nobody, where it counts, you're somebody. That's a song Frank Sinatra should have done, But so when they get on the other sides, they wasted their whole life. They see, they're reviewing things and they go, "Wow, I had all these talents, and I didn't have the courage." That's why courage is the biggest virtue. Without courage, like I say, just keep your prayers simple. KIS, keep it simple. KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart. And you want to, and just, I pray solely for the knowledge of God's will for me, my Creator's will for me, and the power to carry that out. And then let go and let the powers out there that brought you in. Boom, 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 boom. But that's hard for control freaks, I'm speaking for myself there, but if I can do it, anybody could, Because when you get on the other side, I was thinking the other day, wow, they won't believe when I tell my friends what I experienced, and they said, when you get home, Frank, where your home is, they know that's why it's your home. You know, and that's the wonderful thing out there. You know, your vibrations tell your whole story. You know, so keep your vibrations happening here. Keep that love vibration happening, baby. Um, and these kids that are living out their parents, like Carl Jung said, their parents' dreams through the kids. You know, like in Hairspray, like Deborah Harry's telling that girl, dudes, become a prom queen like I was. Man, and she's so pony, mashed potato, jerk. The fact that human beings exist in the universe as creators rather uh, than as passive observers forms one of the meeting points between mystical esoteric teachings. God can't make a Stradivarius without Stradivarius. And I'm not being pretentious, but a lot of times I say that to young people and they'll tilt their heads and they'll go, "What's that?" I go, like there's only 16 in the world, the best violins ever made. Yeah, so the universe needs you as much as you need them, and even if the worst scenario happens, it'll be quick, and we'll end up where we needed to be. But let's not even go there. Let's not even go there because I believe there's so much. Like Mother Teresa said, she would go around telling people, "You're not alone." That's not just dribble. We are literally not alone. You got to own your space. Take your space as your sacred space. Right, Gabby? Tibetan saying, seeking happiness outside ourselves is like waiting for sunshine in a cave facing north. I love that. Um, we look for happiness outside ourselves when it's basically an inner state of being. If it were an exterior condition, it would be forever beyond our reach. Our desires are boundless, and our control over them, over the world, is limited, temporary, and more often than not illusionary. Look within. Within is the fountain of all good. It takes a lot of daring with a lot of courage to do that. A lot of people, because you have to take responsibility for your life. Like this kid that just had a sex addiction in Alabama or whatever, and went off killing all these people in the sex industry. Who would, I guess, doing an all version of legalized, whatever they do in massage parlors. Back when I was sexually active, way back, there were bathhouses. Rock Hudson was in the one down on Folsom Street. There, New York City, back in the '60s, The Ritz is a great movie with Rita Moreno about this bathhouse on 72nd Street. She plays this woman who's a singer at a bathhouse. And Bette Midler started her career on the roof of the Continental Hotel bathhouse over on 72nd Street, way back. So, yeah, what was it? Bush's, one of the Bush's Secretary of Health or Department of Health, an educated woman of color, said that encourage young women to masturbate more. Oh my God! You would have thought they called each and every one of their mothers a whore. She disappeared. I hope she gets resurrected. And what's going to happen is we're going to be, Mother Nature prefers adaptation to controlling what we're doing. Well, it's not that she prefers anymore. She's demanding. She's, you adapt. She's not Mother Nature. We have, Mother Nature fell asleep for a lousy 200 years, which is like a little, like 2 seconds, catnap. And now she's saying, look what you did. You leveled off my mountaintops. Look what you did to my mountains. What did the Reverend Barber say the other day? How do we go from I have a dream to bling bling? I like shiny things. I like protective stones. And, they're out there, and for the most part, consciousness. I'm still working on it. I do whatever I can to keep as light a carbon footprint as I can. Walt Whitman said, uh, the narrowest hinge in my hand puts to scorn all machinery. See, right now, the technophiles have convinced themselves that technology is the answer to everything. And then the way we go crazy when we see these phallic rockets, these sexually deprived people, I guess, get such a rush at seeing this erotic. I guess they get an erotic satisfaction of seeing that's America. Oy vey. Well, it's not just me. There's many, many people. But how are you going to hear them anywhere else but on this channel, cable access TV, and on YouTube? But as I said, there's so much on YouTube, and I'm always, I love my SF cons. I love San Francisco. This is where I put it all together. It's probably where I'll die. I hope another 72 years from now. Live quickly and never regret anything that makes you smile. And while you're living, stay as close to love as you can. Just the other day, I had a friend who's got a friend who's a young woman who had a child really, really early in life, and now she's financially and I immediately said, well, I'll work on it. And the next time I saw them, I said, oh, about that friend you told me about. I said, well, she knew when she was 2 years old, same age as her daughter now, that she was in this little village in Mexico, and her mother and her girlfriend were running the loom, and she was playing with these sticks that she made a face on. It's a little makeshift doll, and the mother's girlfriend said to her, "Wow, your daughter really thinks that little thing is a doll." And you looked at her and she said, "I'll show you what real is." And so I said she knew she was going to be a mother long before she, when she was a little baby, she knew her destiny was to be a mother. And once she understands that, then she will forgive herself for however the child came into the world. And then all these doors and windows that were there will start showing up. And there was a real release there. So in the future, once again, abortions will be run by abortion clinics. I hate even that word. Transformation clinics will be held by psychics, and they'll just tell the little fetus, "Oh, it's not that I don't want you, I just don't want to have you now," or "I don't need," there's all kinds of things there. And then I've done shows about that, and it's not important now. Molly Ivins, rest her soul, the brightest woman, one of the few. I just love her. I've always loved her. She said, Americans, quote unquote, are not getting screwed by the GOP. They are getting it by the large corporations that bought and own the Republican Party. And San Francisco now. She's been dead a while. She's not dead. See, that's the trick. See, you don't want to leave the planet you want to leave the planet alive. And that's what's happening now. The broken spirits and souls, they're united, and they're different, but they need each other. And the whole thing now is we've got to convince our soul to be in the present and the future, and schooled imagination. You've got to start imagining we're cleaning up the earth. All of a sudden, it's all happening. Jobs are being created, and we can all of a sudden we've got to step on the gas now, and then eventually we've got to definitely and we've got to start controlling the advertising, because the mind is everyone. You'll know when they put the mind and the mind-body-spirit equation together. Marlo Thomas is going to have to stop pimping crippled kids. They'll have to get all these pharmaceutical ads off the air. They're killing people. The side effects are bleeding to death. What happened to Tuna Horn? I'm laughing, but there's no humor there. It's just, if I don't laugh, I gotta laugh to keep from crying. That was an old Motown song there. I get all the news I need from the Weather Report and then Pam Gregory, Astrologer. Well, that's about that for this book. And then what else did I put? Oh, yeah, I was going to get the cards. going to get the cards here for you. Here they are. Yeah, I've been getting the Tower card whenever I ask my guys, what do I need to tell you all? And yeah, the Tower is all about shattered illusions, learning humility, breaking down an existing structure to rebuild. See, that's Saturn, the old structure, the old constipated. When John Wayne died, I think they found like over 50, 60 pounds of feces in his intestines. The man hadn't taken a poop for how long does it take to carry that much, 50 pounds? That's a fact, Jack. Yeah, I hope you're not eating now, by the way. Gabby. But this whole John Wayne idea of masculinity now, no. Well, I'm a vegan now, and I don't think they have made vegan quiches now, but real men do eat, vegan food. Man like God, oh yeah, this is important. Man like God is seen as essentially spirit, whether this is thought of as reality, consciousness, energy, or life. That's a good thought. Matter is not merely that which can be covered by chemistry and physics. Tell that to science, huh? These deal only with the most densely embodied spiritual essences. See, that's your Neil deGrasse Tyson, just a different version of Carl Sagan, who poked fun and mocked. He mocked me. Thank you. Gabby, you're a good-looking chick, honey. Okay, Great Spirit, Om Shiva. Let me see what I need to tell my friends here who are watching me now. If you're watching me now, it's Saturday on Channel 29 here in San Francisco, the 27th. So the very next day, Good Friday, is the Libra full moon. So look for 8 degrees. As I said, the sun enters Aries on the 20th. So by the 28th, the sun will be 8 degrees Aries. But the real big thing, too, is Neptune and Mercury in the 12th house in Pisces. So you, once again, become adept in the school of the night. With that, let me cut the cards and see what my collective consciousness of my viewers want to be told right now. I'm going to do the 9-card spread because it's respecting we're on limited time. There's the inner self, the collective outer self. Yeah, there's no way you could watch that. Why Mars? Why not other planets? Like Einstein really urged people, never stop asking questions. And how many times when there were people out and about, did I overhear in the park, on the bus, on the street? Don't ask those questions. When I was a kid, even my friends in high school, don't think that hard, Frank. They're all dead now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think James Baldwin said the reason people cling so hard to their hate is because once that's gone, they're going to have to heal. They're going to have to heal, and that's painful. Healing is painful, and so I believe there's when you're feeling you're most cut off, and believe me, I know what I'm talking about. You're not. You're your closest. Just act as if, fake it till you make that connection. So many people have to intellectualize it. And I get exhausted. Listen to it, I go, wow, you could spoil a dream, an exciting dream. And you thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? And by the way, there is sex on the other side, and it's much better than even sex on Earth when it's done. Like Woody Allen said, is sex dirty? He said, oh, if it's done right. Well, see, in space, in spirit, we're in spirit, our cells are much further apart, and then the union is our senses. So work on your senses being overblown. Colors are amazing. That's why I've always taken to Canvas, because for me, that's where the colors are, and how dare them take away my ability. I'm using senses they don't even know they had. I forgot things they won't even know, um, and taking away my right to enjoy all the beauty on this planet. But I know that on the other side, I'll be able to walk through those gardens that I couldn't before because my hair was long and because cannabis was illegal and they saw it as the worst thing in the world. As I said, on the other side, if you that's why Thomas More, liberal arts and care of the soul. This one woman came to me via the university, and she's SFU, and a lot of people from there know about me, and she had this whole agenda. She wanted me to fix her love life. It was kind of funny. I kept from laughing in her face because I knew she, had no idea what I was doing. So I told her to get this Marlborough College, Thomas More's lecture on liberal arts and care of the soul. It's on YouTube. It's like a good 10, 12 years old, maybe even longer, but it's a wonderful hour of him giving this live lecture to this audience of students at Marlborough College. And then, and then she said, "Oh, I can see why you liked it," and I never saw her again. And then I said, "Well, maybe I missed something there." So I started watching it again. And Thomas More starts off with, all after he got out of the monastery, he was a Jesuit monk. He studied, once again, he was studying Carl Jung, Jung therapy with counselors and all, counseling people with Jungian therapy. And then he became a marriage counselor after he left the monastery. And after 4 years of that, and trying to get other jobs, and he talks about all these jobs where they, after a week or two, they said, you got to go, man. You're not playing the game, like my arriving at Bayvac, and all of a sudden being there, they're causing all this necessary trouble. I don't fit into what they thought a psychic was going to be there. Like I was going to, like, as I said, they had me confused with somebody named Bend Over, or his Norwegian cousin Lay Flat. I believed we got to hang on to SF Commons, man. And tell all your friends about it. There's so much happening here. Let's get Comcast to do what they do, make right what they did wrong. 11, excuse the dramatics here, but I'm pleading with you, for the sake of democracy. Look around. All the radio stations are bought by corporations, all the TV stations. This is it, and nobody even knows the gold mine happening here as far as talent. See, the minute I say gold mine, people think of, I can make money there. Just people proud of their ethnicity, Farsi, all kinds of nationalities, Spanish. There was a bar in Guatemala called the Poco Loco. That's how I said this, flossum. That means honoring your flaws. Instead of covering them up, like what I'm doing now. This is most people say he's crazy. Yeah, happier than you. Okay, what we got now in the center, let's see this together. Boom. Okay, we're all there looking at, okay, what's next? Cups of love and emotion. It's right over your shoulder. There's a snake that bites you. Be here. Start making plans for emotional happiness. Yeah, it's been a 4 year one goddamn thing after another. I mean, no pause. I mean, it was like boom, 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 boom. 4 years of rapid fire. Usually, I mean, George Bush and Cheney started using our Constitution for butt wipe. These guys put it in the shredder. Thank God the new people now are paid. Yeah, they're no saints, but at least they now are, crazy gluing it together. Okay, now, yes, here we are, respecting the 4 elements now. Enough people now. This old story of, when one monkey learns to wash his sweet potato before he eats it, and then the second one washes it, and you go, oh, yeah, it does taste better without the mud. And then, the 99th monkey does it. Then monkeys in the zoo on the other side of the planet do it. It's same with bacteria. If one bacteria is, that's what this virus is happening. One bacteria happens here, boom, it happens there. See, that's the herd immunity, I think they're calling it. So excuse me. Um, right now, as I said, we're getting close to our 100th monkey. And so once again, once you really, your body, your senses come back, and once you get from cruelty-free, plant-based food, a more living, uh, your life is going to work better. The people are going to say, oh, how lucky Mary Beth is. Yeah, the more wisdom she got, the luckier she got. Stop dancing around wounds. Um, but don't, and let's get our heroes. Heroes are hard to find now. As I said, like Reverend Blessing Barber, I love that man. He says, how do we get from bling bling? How do we get from I have a dream to bling bling? Okay, so here we are now. We're not alone. To the left, the right, above you, below you. You're surrounded with thunder. Oh no, it's a motorcycle. We did have thunder, and it used to be unusual. Yeah, here we are now, tiptoeing. Yeah, there's the old guys, stuck in there. But so you can't, like Thomas Paine or somebody said, trying to reason with someone who has lost their mind is trying to give medicine to the dead. So a lot of these people but they're there. I have no more anger for Mitch McConnell and all these people. As a matter of fact, they made me realize how blessed I am, because again, I'm a nobody by choice. I've turned back more things to the cosmic kitchen than some people will see in a year, in lifetimes. I have no regrets. See, that's what a lot of people live this life. They should all over themselves. I think the older I got, the more I've been realizing I was set up like a bowling pin. When I look back about getting my first dog, running into the asthmatic barriers, all these things that fate stepped in, and yeah, joy now, enjoy where we are now, be happy where we are. When you hold back on life's going to hold back on you now. Thank you for being here in this amazing time now. Victims don't heal now. Yeah, we've been victimized, quote unquote. We've been seduced. I think once again, the hardest thing is to, what becomes of the brokenhearted, being seduced. We've been seduced by pharmaceutical companies, from the government, by JFK, who's been up there with Jesus, hippie Jesus with the long hair, not on the cross, which is more erotic. And Madonna even said she loved seeing a naked man on a cross. Yeah, we've all got a psychic wound now. We can collectively heal now. Once people start sharing their dreams and start realizing, wow, the subconscious really does talk in dreams, but you got to be open. Most people are laying in their bed, their body's there, and their spirit has been demanding. Calgon, take me away, and the soul is an obedient servant, and it does whatever you say. So if you command your soul, go away from this school, instead of like, okay, this is 24 hours, a day, or school, I'm going into this conscious state, into the real good work now, the subconscious. And yes, we went through a dark night of the soul, and we went through it to learn. We went to it to learn something. And we didn't go through it by some. The earth isn't. We're gonna rally from this. We are so gonna rally from this. Too much is. Too much. Here we are. Final outcome. Crown chakra now. Faith. Faith is a big deal. Keep the faith, baby. Let me see what else we need to know here. Let me see what else we got going on. Yeah, it'd be nice now in this stage of the game where let's see what else we got here. Where oh yeah, here it is. Don't try to control or merge with. Yeah, that's okay. And don't try to merge with everything you see. This brings tranquility and harmony. If you don't try to, so you got to know what. That's why Tibetan Buddhists say, figure out what to desire. Don't desire things that are illusions. Illusions which will lead you astray. Keep in mind what your maker has in store for you and the things your human body is capable of. Right now, these people have had, divine remission from, and they're passed off as well. It was a misdiagnosis. They don't study non-physical phenomena. If you can't eat it, smoke it, drink it, or have sex with it, what use is it? In medical schools now, they lightly over this stuff, like metaphysical healers, spiritual healers, the whole idea of thought being part of mind, being part of the healing process. To the good where the big money is, surgery, drugs, and now if you watch pharmaceutical ads, they manage to combine them both. We give you these drugs through it in, and it's like, hey, oh, and nobody's like, I know there's other people like me. I stopped Comcast TV because I was giving them $100 to watch. I was only watching movie channels, and myself, I was watching my friends on cable access TV, but I could see them on the computer. And then when they said you can't have the movie or Turner Classics without the sports, I don't like. I don't mind. I'm not interested in sports. So I just said, you know what? And since then, I keep their TV and their phone. But what an education. When I go back on the other side, they're going to say, how do the rich people live? Oh, great. You know what we're doing now? Everybody's going to work. No. I'm going to say, man, hey, that's why, years ago when I was in New York, an astrologer showed me astrocartography. It's this flat map of the world, the whole world. And there were all these great planets going through New York. Oh, I would have died of excesses. All the great planets, I would have burned out a long time ago. And then I said, what's going on there in San Francisco? I saw this line going right through San Francisco, and they said, oh, that's Pluto, man. That's where the hardest path you could ever pick, but the rewards are, then they roll their eyes and I go, of course I gotta go to San Francisco. And when I left New York, all my friends said, literally a Cloud 3 white rose pulled down the driveway. I kissed my grandmother's nurse goodbye. Most of my friends thought I'd stay there, and carry on there. But I just never looked back, I said, well, that's a hard act to follow. But every time I go back, there's always a big car waiting, even though my family's not alive anymore. Okay, well, that's enough of my fans. I went back down memory lane. Well, we're out of time. I love you all. Namaste. See you. I'll do a little 15-minute video to show you where I'll be in the studio. Bye. I love you.